What? Yeah? Oh, your chicken's ready, probably. I don't know, maybe. We'll check it. Anyway, here, we got this attached. Here, let's show everybody this. Look, there it is. It'll need the weight installed inside. And there it is, basically. Pretty much it. Pencils go in there. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Why pencils in this modern age? Because pencils still work for art. And that's what we wanted it for our art table. Yes, we have a nice pencil sharpener for our art table.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
What's
Anyway,
been going on?
I'm going to have this.
Are you recording something today?
Well, I'm working on a little piece of art for the video for Love Give to the World. Because the audio's done and it's out online. You can, when you go to the website, it's in autoplay. It'll play for you. Just go to anoldmasterjukes.com. You can do it right now on your phone right now. And here, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, the finished version is out there. And for the audio. And I'm working on the video now.
Sweet.
So I'm working on these pictures.
See, oh
this
my gosh.
now that starts out. See, the video starts out with Sabrina on her stump. And you listen to the song, you'll see what I mean. And she jumps off her stump and runs out.
Again?
Just go to anoldmasterjukes.com.
Anoldmasterjukes.com.
Yeah, and then it'll take you. I don't
Jukes
know what
or
yeah,
juice?
J-U-K-Z.
Or it said juice.
Yeah.
Jelly juice.
Yeah, it won't take you there verbally. You got to type it in.
Okay. An old master.
The engine is not that good yet.
Juke. J-U-K-E?
J-U-K-Z. Juke.
Oh, J-U.
It's like jukebox, but.
K-Z.
All right.
Juice. No E.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually phonetically still means music, but it's oh, hold on, let me go get one thing.
Okay. Take your time. We got time.
This is something I'm making. I had this old school style pencil sharpener right here.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't want to mount it because I wanted to be able to move it around, you know. And it's like, yeah, I want to use it, but I don't want to.
Did you mount it on that then?
Well, yeah, this is a light fixture piece.
Oh, cool.
I took the plastic piece out, and then just mounted on that. It needs weight, and then it's got these holes where the wires went in.
You're brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey,
so when
look at a pencil holder and sharpener.
will probably be just. Here's some plain. Some more gravel. Just fill it full of gravel, and I'll cap it.
Yeah.
And it'll work. And then the non-skid material. Glue some non-skid material on the bottom, and we got us a mobile pencil sharpener.
Non-skid material, which would be like
That's
a rubber, a little
That's
rubber.
that perforated, like rubbery stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you call that.
Oh. Why does this
space
go to
age
this now?
That space age stuff.
The space age stuff. This went to not
we're working on this side. So this one's done. This is the entry one. Sabrina comes running by here from the real world, from one to the, so her basically fades through one to the other. From the real world of her jumping off her stuff and running around, whatever, and technically, so it'll look like she's running by. As this one comes into shot, this will pop into shot, and she'll come running by as it fades out, and one fades into the other.
Wow.
And then this will do. We'll have a background picture, and just flip over to the new scene, and that's the part. You haven't got it up yet?
No, because what is it? What
So
am
it
I
starts
looking
out-
at? It's like Twitter. It's an master
Jukes.com. Just type it into the search bar. Type it into the address bar. Don't search.
I did, but then all this pink stuff comes up.
That's it.
Oh, it is?
It's supposed to autoplay. You got the sound up?
Not yet. Oh, it's still.
You got to let it finish load.
Okay.
And you got the audio up.
Okay.
You got to get the volume level up. Make sure it'll play on the speaker. Anyway, yeah. So the background, and then in the video just goes flip by itself.
That.
Anyway, so I'm doing grass right now.
Yeah, that's so
Meticulously,
awesome. Yeah, I love
one little
that.
stroke at a time.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, it should play. Here, I gotta sharpen this. Right now, I can tell I got the weight on this. I gotta hold it down to use it. But it's better than before, because before I had to use a C-clamp or something, clamping onto something.
What's it say?
There we go. It's not playing.
Dang, I can't see what it says. What is it?
Each blade of grass. As many as there are in an actual field of grass, you gotta do it to make it look like grass.
Look at that. Okay, I think this might be it. If it plays something different, I'm sorry.
We're
It's a
hearing
field
for
of grass. Is that it?
no,
It's not?
no. That's not it.
I don't know what to tell
It's supposed to go
I can't
right to
see
it.
worth a poop
Well, you're
on
trying to
this.
click on stuff. You just open the
No,
website
okay,
and it'll
add.
go autoplay. You understand? You don't have to do nothing but open the website.
Okay.
Start over. Go
Be
to.
nice.
Okay, I'm just saying. It's just
But
frustrating.
see, this is the one that comes up. It just automatically comes up. You have to push something.
No, it should autoplay though. Just wait. It doesn't autoplay on your phone.
It doesn't.
Your browser won't autoplay, so it does
No.
not support autoplay. Okay, now then go down to Reverb Nation,
Oh my gosh.
the Reverb Nation link. And you'll see it there.
It
It's,
says Jimmy Rogers.
yeah, and then you also see in there
Do I
embedded.
click on that?
No, not the Jimmy Rogers one. You're looking for Love Gift to the World. It's right there, right after it. And embed right there from SoundCloud.
An old master Jukes follows.
Then you're in the Google. You're in the YouTube section. Go down. I mean, that was the
Love
Twitter
Gift
section.
to the World.
There you go. Hit play.
Dang it.
We need to darken this too some more here. Some like 3-inch long blades.
Was that an
On the
image of
bridge.
someone? That
No, that's right out of my head.
right out of your head?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Listen to this.
Yeah, this is all right out of my head.
Very
Is it,
nice.
yeah,
It's
just
still not going. I don't know what the hell.
it won't play the audio.
Wait, something's doing something. Unless it's not again. Oh, here we go. Oh, I have to install it. That's why.
You have to install what?
I have to install SoundCloud. Oh, that's not right.
It's taking you to a SoundCloud app to do it.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was going to happen that way.
I know.
This app shit sometimes sucks.
It does, because I went right where you said.
It's supposed to be the big deal and the big thing. And so it's like, we don't necessarily have room for all those freaking apps on our phones and shit, So it's like,
I missed you, guys.
can we just get back to the old days where you hit play and it just plays? You don't have to do nothing special.
I know. Now it's getting too out of control. Because I want to just...
I mean, the apps are fine for interactive stuff, but it's what the intention
So
of
why
an
can't I
application
just
was.
bring up the song, Love Gift to the World? Right?
Yeah. You could go to Reverb Nation instead. It's out there also. You want to try the Reverb Nation link? After we get the video done, it'll be on YouTube. You could go to Twitter and get it. You go back to tweets,
Okay, wait a minute.
and you'll find it on Twitter.
Well, you told me not to go there.
Well, so I was trying to get you to go, see if they're trying to get the SoundCloud link to work. Anyways, we're talking to
I know.
Jen, and we're talking about acceleration, you know, and we're talking about how, you know, physics says, you know, that they've established that, you know, 1 Newton force, they say, is equal to the amount of force required to accelerate 1 kilogram to a velocity of 1 meter per second squared.
I'm listening.
Do you ever start squaring stuff and see how quick it goes up?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, you take we're start on, and 1 squared is nothing. 1 squared always equals 1. 10 squared equals 100. If you were to just take 2 squared, you know what that is, right? That's a 4, right? 4 squared is 16. 16 squared, 132. 132 squared is 264. Can you keep going? How can you keep up with me? 164 squared is 164 squared is 328. I think so. Yeah, 164. 164 times 4 is 8. I mean 16. 4 times 4 is 16.
You were seeing if I was paying attention.
Yeah. And then 4 times 6.
24.
Okay. Carry a 2.
48.
Yeah. That's 348.
Here it is. It's YouTube though, I think. Is this it?
Anyway, so you just think like that. Well, what if you could accelerate and just keep going? That's not it.
That's not it either?
No. You're on
What
YouTube?
the heck?
You landed on something on YouTube there.
Gosh.
Not even mine.
Master Chicks. This is going to drive
No
me.
wonder I can't get any plays.
It's going to drive me
to this
crazy
shit.
until I find this. Oh. There we go. Who is that? Reverb Nation videos. All Master Gallery Inc. Toronto.
No, that ain't.
Renee tries out Karen's guitar.
That's one of ours.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's not the one I'm trying. Not the most recent work that's been uploaded to the net as an individual audio piece.
How come when I put this up? James Result.
Yeah, that's the production company name.
Wow. Is this you? That's not you.
What's that? Yes, that is me, myself, and I.
Oh, man. You all are beautiful. I'm going. I can't. It won't let me see like a. Let's see. Come on. What is this? You guys have been busy. This is new.
What's new? That?
Yeah.
The one you
You've
just
never
saw? No, that's been out there.
You guys never showed me
That's
that
on the
before.
Facebook, right?
Yeah, but I.
Well, I told you that you go to the .com, and that's the site map. That's my internet site map. Not just for my website. It's everything I do on the internet.
Everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I.
which I have links I need to add. I need to put the Public Space Association .space link on the website, on the little Master Jukes .com.
So the problem is, though, I'm not on Facebook.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Try. Let's see.
So,
What other place could I send you to try to get that? LinkedIn. You got a LinkedIn account?
Nope.
No.
I know. I'm very old school.
Yeah. You know who I've sent my recent LinkedIn stuff? I'm
Jen?
trying to contact with.
Oh.
As I'm trying to get contacted to the Bigelow family, Bigelow Space. North Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, they're aligned. What they're doing, they're working on inflatable habitat. They're like the starting foundation for like what we want to do with the space, the large space habitat. And well, if you thought about it. The best place, the best orbit for a place for people to live that work and run space drones that like flying video games. That can run on, guess what? Biased centrifugal force or biased kinetic impulse to force propulsion.
So they would be the perfect people to contact.
Well, in the orbit. Yeah. Well, see, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Because, see, they may not want to work with us. But, anyway, did I tell you about
Is that a monetary thing, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I would say
that's the thing. Why we got the donate button. Why I want people to donate. Every single penny of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Every single penny donated. Here's the thing. It doesn't go to me at all. It goes to do just a couple things. It needs to buy fuel. Okay.
Wow.
If we can't get somebody to donate a property and a building and some processing equipment to take this trash, all this trash that mankind wants to keep making. Okay, this plastic, and let's take all the used plastic and let's bring it together and make habitat. And where we think the best place for the habitat, we've been thinking about it a lot. Imagine that's the moon, and then this camera over here, you guys here are on the Earth, and here's the moon. And I think the best place for a habitat would be to put something going around the moon. Here. Mm-hmm. A big, huge habitat in orbit around the moon that could, and they're in a perfect location to clean up any debris between Mars and Earth, which is where the zones where we're going to be working, right? And that's so cleanup is a very important job.
That's a big distance.
I demonstrated that. See the dumpster area the other day. We have one of our movies we made. Mm-hmm. Well, we have two movies out there, a version A and a version B, because we made two movies at the same time with Unit A and Unit B.
Has Jen
we could
seen
call
them?
this unit. No, I don't know. They're out on YouTube.
Okay,
but anyway, we have some really neat stuff with the interaction with the horse over here and stuff. It's a really cool movie. But it starts the one of the themes in the movie where one's centered on Sabrina more, the other version centered on me tearing down the couch by hand, cleaning up the dumpster area and salvaging all this material from it that I would make fence out of and use up for other things. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And that material which I'm cutting up into. You know what that is?
Those are S-hooks.
An S-hook. Made out of the springs from the couch. Yes. I left some of them as springs because they're just nice springs. I want some, I need springs for stuff here. But, anyway, but yeah, a lot of them get made to be S-hooks because I need S-hooks to hang different things off, just off the grid in there, or stuff off the fence. And when I immediately hang something off the fence, boom, I put an S-hook on it. Mm-hmm. See? Like that. So, like hanging something off of any ledge.
Easier,
they're valuable.
Isn't it?
Yes.
It's an idea
S-hooks
that's
are
very
so
efficient.
Valuable. Anyway, yeah, that's one of the recycling projects there.
Okay, that's good.
See that that blue tub? Mm-hmm. That's a representative model for the waterfall that's going to go in the corner. That's right here where that last little lamp is where that cuts off and goes out a bit, and then right in that nook right there, I'm going to put the waterfall that's going to span both sides of the fence.
Nice.
Right at the corner, there'll be 3 zones, and right next to right next to, as part of the stage that'll be there, built into the backdrop of the stage, will be the waterfall, part of the waterfall on that side of the wood fence. So this will pick up wood fence right there at that pole and go out, and then it'll go around, and I'll reclaim my tree. So I got a place for my hammock off that way, and then the fence will go out and around. It'll pick up a wire fence around and give Sabrina a run around the back side of the room here, and go around the swamp cooler, and then and then I want to pick up a wood fence, set up a privacy zone all the way down around the clothesline over there, and bring wood fence back across this way, 6 foot high, until we get to the front and drop it down. So it'll be like, well, you know, if we're holding one of our gatherings, we want to hold this for the purpose of, let me try to think of the most appropriate way to say it. How about hooking up? Okay? If the purpose of the party is to hook up, which we need to do, everybody does. You know, me, myself, and I, we're fine. You know, we take care of that, but we still like to have some interaction with others too. Everybody does.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, well, yeah, hookup parties, I guess is the nice way to say it.
It's a nice
But
way.
yeah, see, but we got privacy zone for that, and so that's like, you know, we can have big, huge hookup parties. A movable hot tub with a barbecue built in on wheels, big, huge. I'll go ahead and spend the money to go buy these big, huge casters. I'll have to probably wait. It'll take 4 months to buy 4 of them, or 3 months to buy 3 of them.
Hole, right?
No, it goes on top of up on. See?
Oh, platform.
Did these doodads?
Mm-hmm.
Not a platform. These doodads right here. These, they're made out of cement. Okay, well, I collect styrofoam and combine it with rock. We'll put some styrofoam in it because they're lighter. It's filler, and that's all you do. So basically, make them square, about the size of the seat of a chair. Mm-hmm. And cool. They lay them out flat. They lay in there. They'll be 2 inches thick, and they lay out. And and the whole back there will be all those. And I'll do it in human chessboard style. So, hey, there's a hot tub, rolls out, whatever. We want to do human chess. We want to do. We want to do adult human chess. Whatever. See,
what is adult human chess?
Adult human chess works this way. You're gonna make me get in a program.
Oh no! Okay then. I retract. I retract that.
No. I'll try it. Really, it's a challenge. I would really try to describe it without getting in a public. I need this kind of challenge for social interactions.
Very good.
We didn't get to go to kindergarten, damn it. And that's what part of that song is about. Everybody else, we had to learn after the fact how to interact with people, and we're still learning.
So let's make it appropriate.
Okay. We're like a Sheldon, you understand? And yeah, we've been through every job. We're just unsatisfied with every job, and we tried every job, learned what we had to do to get into the field of our choice, without going to school or spending a dime for it, by being a self-study. Okay, it's called an epistemologist. Okay.
So, are you going to answer that?
I'm going to answer the question. Okay.
Appropriately as you
guide me back to the question a little bit. How did the question go again? Exactly. Okay. Adult chess. What is adult chess? Mm-hmm. Well, adult human chess. First, you know human chess, right?
Yes.
Where people play the parts. Okay. Adult human chess is kind of a way people can. It's really meant for swingers. You know what a swinger is? Mm. Swingers are people who have no problem engaging in indiscriminate sex with other people. Okay, so adult human chess involves swingers, whereby the king and the queen, who are playing who basically run the board like a regular colonial patrial matriarchy. Okay, I guess that's what you call it. I'm trying to search for the word in my brain. I can't find it at the moment. But yeah, basically, when you got a king and queen, both it's a something archy. I don't know. A panarchy. the man and woman, panarchy. How about that's a word for it? And then if the queen dies, it becomes a patriarchy, and if the king dies, it's a matriarchy, right? Okay, so that brings up another funny one. The word parents, that'll get you. The true word definition, the root of the word parent comes from the word pair. It means how many? Two. So if you're a single person raising a child, how can you be a parent? Right?
That's correct, I think.
Oh man, see, I'm really tough on words because
Yes.
see, I reach right down to the root because we are an aficionado of phonics, and you got to think about and there's a lot of stuff phonetically that's not even written. You know what I mean? You could study the Phoenician language forever and never get it all. See what I'm saying? So you got to go, okay, well, let's just use logic and think about the root of the particular sound, and think about the origin of language in the first place. See, take it from a linguistics point of view, and you get to, well, okay, the letter P, where did P come from? Okay,
It's actually a branch off. A parent is a caregiver of the offspring in their own species.
yeah, but the true word comes from the word pair, which means two. When they pair off and mate. Okay, see what I'm saying? I'm so hard on this deaf people who make these definitions of these words. Okay, because I'm absolutely cut to the quick and say, hey, no, you know, where'd you get that definition from, idiot, stupid? Really? Think about this. Here's the true logical root of that par. Pair. Pair and par. Puh. Pair, par, puh. Push. Participate.
Yes.
Means to include yourself in something. It's a derivative of pairing. Yeah. See what I'm saying? You just got to be logical. When you start applying logic, it all comes clear. But you got to apply perfect logic. See? If your logic is flawed, you won't get it either. That's how people get this words, how these new definitions of words come up. It's because their logic is flawed to begin with.
Is that going to be all field grass?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I got to do the whole thing. With each blade of grass, like God grows a field of grass. That's what makes this work of art a work of art that is going to be into itself.
Beautiful.
And
we should frame it.
Well, see, you can't frame it. It's got a dual thing, because it's meant to be put in a video. It can go in a book. Oh, yeah, speaking of books and talking about, what do you want to talk about? Inappropriateness, man. Bruce and I are here. Well, we had some upheaval over the Friday thing, and I think it's about to level out. But, because he and I got a project for this other guy that wants us to work together on it. And anyway, this is supposed to be a shrub, and it's not really looking like a shrub.
Are y'all going
to
get paid for this project?
For that project?
Yeah.
Well, I sort of already got paid. I get paid on a kind of because I keep on call for this guy, he gives me, I get benefits. Like, I will get, like that, that nice white guitar?
Yes.
That matches that nice white Stinger bass. They make this nice set. Yeah, and I thought, it'd be great to build I need to build a case for the both of them. They ride together. So I thought, really what I need to do is a hard shell case on wheels that'll carry like 10 guitars. And an acoustic too. And then that way it rolls, goes in the truck. I got all my instruments. and then all the guitars, and then I need a case for. So then the drums, all the homemade drum stuff. Ultimately, I want it to be able to break down and go and roll. So I'm thinking it could be set up on basically on a platform with wheels, where the basic thing is just there, and then it's like all packs up onto the platform, and then the sides go on, and the lid goes on it, and it rolls. Yeah,
and then when you get it back there, then it goes. All the sides go down. Yeah. And you're ready.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about getting equipment road ready and stuff. Ultimately, well, I got this Hyundai car. I got since I did the work on this, on this.
That's been there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I did the work on this guy's on Big Tex's Kia. Changed his radiator and all that whatever stuff, and there was other stuff. So ultimately, we've settled on a value of that job at about $350, which is the money I need to just get a used transmission for that, and then I put that on the road. And while I got the used transmission, I drain the oil, pull the pan off, take the valve body out, set it on this table that can't tip over, or put a towel all the way out, set it right in the middle, or I mean, I can set it right here, and then one by one, take each section apart, take the valves, and ID the valves over here, and the other one over there on the other side of the table, or next to it, side by side, here and here. Put a divider so they can't convolute to each other. So take one, take the cover off, pull them apart, gently pull them apart, lay them out. Go over here, find all the parts that match, lay them all out. Put it together, turn it around, do the other side.
Same thing.
Other side, same thing, put it together. Put it in that transmission and sell it.
Oh.
Right.
Good.
See?
Good.
Right, yeah. Put it in the transmission where the valves got all convoluted, and then sell the transmission for the same money that the other one. And then I got that cash to go, well, now what do I do with this cash? Go buy some marijuana.
Do you all drive?
Well, yeah, I've got a driver's license.
Ultimately, why wouldn't you guys want to keep it then? So you have a vehicle.
No, I'm talking about selling the transmission.
Oh, just
the transmission out of that car that's in there right now. The valve body got convoluted. See, I don't think you understood. I didn't explain the progression. Okay, now the whole car. No, nothing wrong with the car. Motor runs, whatever. The problem was the transmission. I rebuilt the transmission, built the upper end. I was working on the lower end. The valve body, had it out on a table. Go around corner, go get coffee, whatever. I don't even remember what I was doing. Left it unattended. Come back, tables on the floor. All the valves are convoluted. So I look up, try to find data, try to find no data. So I tried 6 different configurations, and none of them are right. Okay, because there's like 25 different ways to put it together.
Okay.
See how what I'm saying? There's out of all the parts, you can put them together 25 different ways. So that means you got to try it 25 different times till you find it. It's like, man, the guy that I was doing it for gave up, and we ended up working a deal on the car. The car's mine. That's how I ended up, because I failed in the repair.
So you got 21 more times.
But I'm not
got 21 more times to do it.
I'm not going to go through that.
No.
I'm going to take $350 that he's going to hand in my hand, and I'm going to buy a used transmission, take it back apart one time and put it in there, so I got a drivable car. Got it. Boom, done. Now, while it's in the process of going in, I will take and do the process of valve body, take that valve body out that came out of it, build the other one off the model from the other one, and document it very well so I can put that online and say, screw you, Hyundai, and your exclusivity on your old stuff. There you go. We just sidestepped you on that one. Okay, and because it's past what you might call public domain anyway. How about that? So yeah, I got you. So let people fix it on their own now. You got new shit to sell. And see, that's the point I'm making about people and the mentality of business, trying to hold on to shit too long. Yep. Trying to hang on to the umbilical cord. That's what NV Energy is trying to do. Keep people on their umbilical cord. Please vote yes on 3. I'm telling everybody in the whole world. Who in Nevada? Vote yes on 3. Take the power out of NV Energy to keep, so they won't have. It's about the umbilical cord. They want to keep you connected. You know, they don't want people getting their own solar panel. Yes, we are. Independent or nonpartisan or whatever you want to call it. Okay. And you know what we'd really love to have, by the way, we're going to state that out in the public too on this video. Mm-hmm. We want a nonpartisan candidate with some power, with some really push, as it gets said, to upset the partisan system. We want a nonpartisan president. That's what we want. Finally, in all of history of the United States, we want to have a nonpartisan president. And that's who we want to win this election coming up 2 years from now.
That's going to be a tough one.
Tough one. But we're gonna campaign to get to. I don't know who we want to nominate. We want to pick somebody to push. Somebody who's really worthy, who's honest as the day is long, like an Abe Lincoln.
Yes.
We want an Abe Lincoln in office, who's nonpartisan, honest as the day is long, non-prejudiced, not a liar, tells no rhetoric, speaks no rhetoric. You know what the word rhetoric means? Mm-hmm.
No rhetoric, no bull.
You know what the word rhetoric means. Rhetoric means half-truths. Mm-hmm. Soft lies and half-truths.
Soft lies.
That's what it means. Yes. And it's a common word in politics because that's a common thing to do in politics, is tell soft lies and half-truths. Soft lies are like, well, you know, it might be, but I doubt it. You know,
exactly.
That's where, you know, and that's sort of like, you know, vague, being vague.
Yep. Very vague.
Not willing to divulge facts, like
usually they don't
like
have
tax
the facts.
Documents, right. Like the president we have now, who we're still wondering about the fucking shit. After how long? It's been 2 years now, and you see what I'm saying? And we still are wondering about, well, what is the true nature of his financial activities before he got as president, and what are truly the nature of his current financial activities? What's going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors?
Not self-made millionaire, billionaire.
Anyway, but these are some of the reasons. Well, ultimately,
Are we on video?
Yes, we are recording.
That way, though, to your art.
Yeah, to the art.
Yeah,
we're having a conversation while I'm growing grass.
We don't want that political conversation.
Oh, we can be political. We can be punditly.
Why do you think people are afraid of very few topics that are...
I'd like to be politically pundit. You know what that means?
No.
Stephen Colbert is a pundit.
Oh,
making fun of and making jokes about because of their stupidity. Mm-hmm. Because half of it is stupidity if you look at it. Pay attention. Half of it's pride. And John ran out of it because the seeking of the public office in the first place. The motivation. You got to question anybody that goes into public office what their personal motivations are. That's why we need an Abe Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Abe Lincoln's personal motivations were clear. He had no personal motivations. He went in just to be, you know.
You don't think there was a small little something that
I don't know.
You know, that's...
I don't know.
May not ever know.
Maybe he was interested in trying to keep the marriage age at age 13 or something. I don't know. Age 12 or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, back then, that was a marriable age right there. Age 8 or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, there used to be a time there was no age limit. Mm-hmm. There was no laws about that at all.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I'll tell you how I really feel about it. I get weird feelings just coloring in, darkening in underneath the skirt there on something like that, you know. A grown woman now is another story, but it still makes me feel weird. I don't know, is it me? Is it just something society has done to me? See what I'm saying? Is it something that my observance of laws and limits has put me in to do, to feel?
Perhaps.
See, you're the psychologist, psychology. What is actually the definition of your field? Therapy, psychotherapy.
Like psychotherapy. That's more Jen's. Mine is like almost like an under that, which would probably be like I don't know. I don't really have a title like that. Like counselor in that field. Basic communication, social skills, daily life coach, living coach, a myriad of things.
Let's see, well, I try to look this fly. They have been trying to teach this species so long, and they just don't get it, and they're not willing. I mean, they don't realize the price they pay. See?
Did you get it?
See the blood on the paper?
My. Yes. Wow. Pretty fast. Got fast reflexes.
And they say marijuana slows your reflexes. We are they that crash through all myths. And besides that, Jamie Savage and what's his name, they crashed through a bunch of myths too. Busted them really good. Love that show, You know where they are right now? What they're doing right now? You can see them. Now, let me explain something. Do you realize, now, me, myself, and I, and Sabrina are YouTube Insider. We're actually partnered with YouTube, okay? Well,
how?
Well, because we're partnered and we're able to be monetized. When we get enough subscribers, we need to do some advertising. We need to spend we got free advertising coming from Google through Bluehost. We need to go ahead and build an ad and spend that. So that's something I need to concentrate on, take a break from making videos and writing songs to build an ad campaign and use my credit on the ad campaign and get some views and subscribers on the channel. But here's the point I was getting at was YouTube nowadays is bigger than all the national TV stations put together. The viewership
I did not know that.
is larger than all the national TV stations put together. Oh yeah, here, hold it down so I can try it, see how it's going to feel when it's weighted right. And then tell me how much pressure, and then that's without the non-skid. Let me get some non-skid.
Where is he? Hi, Sabrina. What are you doing? What are you doing, pretty girl? What are you doing? What are you doing? What? Are you talking to me? Okay, good girl. Okay, get down.
But what I've been doing, I'm getting better because having more time to spend on it has allowed us to, start compiling stuff. So it's like as I run across things, I get to file it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got shelves or whatever, so I can stand it up. I can go, okay, da 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 da. This isn't non-stick stuff. This is not going to fully represent the amount of resistance I need. But it will be better than the glass, see? So it will represent it some. So you can hold that down and kind of try to anticipate while I run it how much pressure. So go really light first, just with nothing. Let's just see if it slides by itself. Just let go for a second. Yeah, see? Nothing. Okay, now hold it down a little bit. Okay, see, it doesn't take much. How much pressure are you applying about?
Not much.
Here, hold it like here so it doesn't jump. There you go. Not much. About a pound or so.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I go 2 pounds, it's plenty.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
And especially after it gets the regular non-skid stuff on there, it'll have some grip. This doesn't have a lot of grip. Okay, good. Well, see, it's going to work out just fine.
Beautiful.
All right. That's what I wanted to find out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is looking more organized out here. You're trying. You guys are trying very hard. That's good. Were you all able to get your refrigerator out?
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've still got working on the... Is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Nervous? Making me nervous.
It's getting the flies off of me. And I was playing with Sabrina. She doesn't like this. And she was up and I was going like this. She was going for my foot.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting story. We're talking about drawing pictures out of your imagination of little girls. I knew this guy. He went by the nickname of Code. And it's like, well, that might be appropriate because he ultimately set the code. And the code went this way. His thing was drawing naked, little girls naked, and exploring their bodies, just being innocent, little exploring their bodies, right? That's what little girls do, right? You did it when you were a little girl, and all girls do. It's like, so exploring their intimate parts, and Johnny Law tried to put him in jail over it for child porn. And it's like, is it? No.
Is it art?
Is it art? Yeah. It is art. See, that's the thing, is the viewer decides what charge they're going to put on it by their mentality at the moment of their viewing.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility is in the hands of the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So, the people that tried to put him in jail should have been the ones in jail, right? Because of them putting that connotation on it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Calling it, labeling it. And then there's the true lesson about karma. It's because they that should have been that aren't, that didn't, will have their karma to face in the future, in their souls. Or for those that happen to believe in the etherical, which, Stephen Hawking didn't, but we do. Like, we have evidentiary experience, What can you say? But in order to relate it to physics, that's a thing. In order for me, myself, and I to equate to it and relate to it, we've got to quantize it. And how do we quantize the etherical? Well, okay, what does my little unmeasurable IQ do? Well, we go, okay, let's just think about it for about 10 seconds and go, okay, how do you quantize the etherical? Well, place the etherical in the 11th dimension of space-time. Okay? That puts anything that is spirit, etherical, as a physical entity, then it occupies that physical mass that we represent in the words we call space-time. That was measured what they've been calling gravity waves. Waves that travel through it. That thing that is responsible for frame drag. You know what frame drag is?
No.
All right. When you get in your car, hit the gas. You know how your head goes shooting back to the seat, and it feels like you're being pulled backward with extra gravity.
Like G-force?
G-forces. Yeah. That's frame drag. As you're being accelerated, your frame of reference will be dragged along to the new frame of reference that the thing you're in that's accelerating you is providing. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll show it in the camera. So, let that settle down first. Okay, now, and you see when I took off, the coffee did this, right? Now, if I take off at a steady rate and keep it going, it settles back down, okay? Because it arrives at its new frame of reference. Okay, if you keep accelerating faster and faster and faster, it's called either linear or exponential acceleration. As long as there's acceleration taking place, there will be frame drag. The amount of frame drag will be relative to the rate of acceleration. Okay? So if you're accelerating exponentially, the frame drag will increase. Frame drag increases with acceleration. So linear acceleration. Well, let's talk. Let me set that aside for a second. Let me just talk acceleration for a second again. All right, let's get back to that.
Okay, that's
One.
not level.
Oh, let me go. First, we'll use the name my parents gave me. RNOLDJAMESKUTZ. 15 letters. That's enough to represent the model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'll strike them for branding purposes. Alphabetized. That was you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alphabetized. ADEJKLMNORSTUZA. Which, for branding purposes, rearranges then also anagrams to ANOLDMASTERJUKZ.com. Okay. Now, 15 pencils. Let's make each pencil equal a length and a time of 1 meter. Okay, so that's a 1 meter second. So you've gone in here in 1 second, you've gone 1 meter. Okay, so if you line them up linearly, okay, you start out and you accelerate from 0. Say you apply 1 Newton, 1 Newton, and you're talking about 1 kilogram. Or no, let's say your weight, let's say 100 kilograms. It'd take 100 newtons to accelerate you to 1 meter per second. Now, if you just simply start out walking, that's kind of a pulse of acceleration, and you start out walking, you could keep walking, say at that rate, and you'd be, in 15 seconds, you'd be 15 meters. Okay? All right. But you'd only experience frame drag, or your coffee cup, or whatever you're holding, experience the frame drag from the acceleration in the first meter. Because once you're to a velocity, then you're at a frame of rate, that velocity, okay, sets up a velocity. You're at a frame of reference. This is called an inertial frame of reference. Okay, this lets you use Newtonian math again. Okay, so now Otherwise you get into, well, everything's in motion. You got to look at the planet in motion, and then it's around the sun that's in motion, and the galaxies, the sun's around the galaxy, and then the galaxy's in motion around the thing, and then our galaxy's flailing across space. And if we're connected anywhere, well, we're still in a point where there's any gravity connection at all to the hub that might have been spinning in the beginning. If there's any gravity left there, then we're in an arc, an angular path. But if not, we've escaped that gravity in our expansion, and now then we'd be in a linear path, but still moving. Then you got to figure out all that math. So you know what they did? Oh, we'll just call it a frame of reference, and then you're back to Newtonian math again. All right, so now, but let's talk acceleration now. Here, watch. Now, so if you go, okay, let's accelerate let's start out, and in the first second, we get to go 1 meter per second. In the second meter, we get to go 2 meters per second. Well, now, at that velocity, guess what we get to do? The same 15 meters goes by in just a little less than half the time. Okay? Like that. Okay?
Okay.
So, but while we're accelerating to that, we feel frame drag, and then we feel frame drag. And then once we're past that, the frame drag fades. We're into the inertial frame of reference at 2 meters per second. Okay? Right. So, if you get to, say in the third second, that's 1 second, 2 seconds. In the third second, you can accelerate some more. Okay, then you're here at 3 meters per second. All right? And in that much less time, you've gone the same distance. Still, you've only used 1 Newton for each moment for each meter second of acceleration.
Okay.
Yeah. The 1 Newton force for the 1 per kilogram. So if you're 100 kilograms, you've used 100 newtons to get to 3 meters per second. And you've used 300 newtons to get to 3 meters per second, and gone 15 meters. All right. So now check this out. So hypothetically, if you have a way to accelerate and not have a ceiling like the rocket equation has a ceiling, your car has a ceiling, the Kawasaki Ninja has a ceiling of how fast you can go. On the Ninja you get on for a moment, you get exponential acceleration, then it tapers off to linear acceleration, then finally tapers off to a final steady velocity when you're full throttle going 210 miles an hour. Okay? Yeah. And better hope you don't run into nothing on your Kawasaki Ninja. Okay, so anyway, so that whole time you experience frame drag according to your rate of acceleration until you're done accelerating. Now, so hypothetically, let's say you got a craft, say now we know, okay, so biased centrifugal force propulsion or biased kinetic impulse to force propulsion does not have a speed limit, because it works this way. Every time, say your acceleration that was being done by that, and you're able to, say your 100 kilograms, your power source delivers a nice steady 100 kilograms of 100 Newton force, or basically call it 100 kilogram force, nice and steady every second. So every second you get to add to your current frame of reference 1 meter per second. Okay? And there's no limit to that, because you're going boom, and every time it does it, it just goes faster, because you're adding to the inertial frame of reference. As long as there's no resistance, assuming you're out in space and you're at zero resistance.
What do you think about that rocket that came crashing back down that was launched
Well,
last
I think
week?
it was very good that they had safety measures in place.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And lived through that.
Yes, it was very good. That anyway, so here's the interesting thing we're driving at. Do some math. If you were to take first, the speed of light is 299,792,000 483 meters per second. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how
I'll
many.
write
If
that
you
down.
could accelerate. Well, that's easy to remember. Just remember the phone number I'm going to try to get. Johnny 10
Oh.
times light speed.
Oh.
That number plus a 0. I'm going to advertise. Try to get that number and I'll advertise it.
Johnny Lights.
Do you need to get somewhere in a hurry?
Right. Johnny
Yeah.
Lightspeed.
Are you crunched for time?
JOHNNY. Johnny Light.
10 times light speed. It's 10 times Johnny. 10 times. 10 times is the middle name.
Oh, Johnny 10
10 times. Johnny 10 times. Last name's Lightspeed.
times.
Lightspeed.
That's longer than a regular phone number.
No, that's not the phone number. The phone number is, that's the name. The phone number is 299 792 4830.
Did you just make that up?
No, I've made that up quite a while ago.
What is it in reference to?
Light speed. It's a way of memorizing the light speed in meters per second.
Well, what does the 2 pertain to? Any of these out of your
299.
million?
No, in this case, 10 times light speed. You move the comma. Okay, so you get here. Move the comma there. 830. So it reads this way. It reads 2, 997, 924, 830, which is 2,997,924,830 meters per second. That's 10 times light speed.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so now here's an interesting thought experiment. Just take light speed. Here's how you do this. You're gaining in this thought experiment. You're gaining 1 meter per second every second. Okay. Now you take and divide 299,792,483 by 60, and you get the number of minutes. Divide that by 60 again, you get the number of hours. Multiply that by 365.25, and you get the number of years it takes you to reach light speed at that linear rate of acceleration at 1 meter per second.
Wow.
Additive rate of acceleration. It takes you 9.4 something years. I don't have the exact.
Yeah, I would have to do that on my
But yeah,
calculator.
at 9.4 years, you're at light speed. Here's one for you. Do this math. This is an interesting one.
I'm not good at math.
The
I
light
have to
speed.
do it
Well,
here.
use the
Let's see.
calculator. Light speed experiment. Okay, so you know the merry-go-round. Here, the merry-go-round I drew in this picture has one. My favorite kind of merry-go-round. But see, I would love to make one, and you put padding all the way around it instead, and you get rid of all these bars here, and you just do the one in the middle. It's set up they used a big truck axle and set it up on the thing, and the truck's axles have this bolt that the cap that bolts on, so they give you ability to bolt something onto that, okay, that is solid, that don't turn, it's connected to the ground, and in the middle.
Well, without these bars.
Without
then
the bars, you don't move it by getting on the outside. You move it by getting on the inside and turning the handle like this.
Oh, like
This connected to the ground. If this is connected to the ground, you can't help but go around. So 4 or 5 people get in the middle, and a bunch of people will get around the edge or try hanging on to them, and that's the game. Is the people in the middle start spinning this thing and start getting faster and faster. Well, because you're spinning it from the middle in here, okay, velocity here, okay, frequency is the same from here to here, but the velocity in space-time goes higher according to the circumference. So your circumference here, one time around here, you got it, okay, equals the distance you're traveling, say a meter. In this case, you're about 0.2 meters, about 2/3 of a meter. Here, okay. So you're going around, okay, and your hands are going around this short distance. Your feet are going around and pushing that thing around. And the end result is the outer diameter. If you're going around here, say the thing is like 30-foot circumference. Out on the outer edge, in 1 second, you're going around 30 feet. See what I'm saying? 30 feet per second versus around here at 2 feet per second. See what I'm saying? Well, that's my point. That's the whole object of the game. The people in the middle try to eject the people on the outer edges. Okay. That's the game. So and you make teams like four people in the middle and 4 people in the team. And there's 4. Say you start out the first team starts to push the thing around, and you get faster and faster, and the other people get to hang on to the people in the first team. And the idea, every man for themselves one would be fun too. The idea is to get to the middle and stay on, and be the one running the thing. So people could be hanging on to the people trying to turn the thing, and and they'd be getting ejected off of it. Being a Coriolis effect would be trying to get them off of there.
Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Here, let me draw this.
You know what they're called? They're called the teacups.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are lame. Those are mild. Yeah, but you're inside a cup. They're lame. Here, this thing.
A wall.
This thing here. Here's this thing, right? Okay, and it's bolted to the truck axle. The truck axle comes up, and there's bolts here. See, so. Basically, all you do is you modify that with an appropriate flange to bring this up here like this. So you got this ring you can hold on to, right? And this ring's connected through the thing to ground. So this whole thing can go around, but this stays solid, right? So that way, okay, now draw this in stick figures. That way, okay, so here's how the game works, okay? People get on here, all right? And so you can start out the game. You start out in a line. Everybody in a line. Of course, you're doing an arc, so everybody's equidistant to it, all right? Okay, say 100 yards. It starts with a running race, okay? And everybody runs to try. So it would be a great game. You put padding out here so nobody can get hurt, right? Right. And you put the nice smooth edges so nobody can, so nobody gets hurt. Now in the futuristic movie, we could modify it and make it like a razor sharp edge on the thing. Try to get better, you might get cut in two and shit. Anyway, the rollerball the Road Warrior movie. All right, anyway, but now the fun game works this way, and so everybody runs to get on the thing, and you jump on the thing, and you try to get to the middle. Okay, and everybody gets in the middle, and everybody else has to hang on. Like this, and the people in the middle start spinning the thing as it kind of as a team. Whoever's in the middle is teamed up to try to stay in the middle, right? Everybody else is just trying to stay on and or work their way to the middle. So the idea is they're trying to stay on, and you got this centrifugal force pulling on them, and so the Coriolis force is trying to get them off of there, and the whole time they've got to hang on to these other people that are spinning the thing and try to get them off and break them loose and pull them off and take their place in the middle. All working against the centrifugal force. See what I'm saying? And now, but the way this works, see, back to the point. Say this is 100. Say this is what's a realistic number. Say this is a circumference of 30 meters, right? All right, that would be a diameter of, to do by pi, to be 118 something. Point. It'd be 18 meters or something, whatever. You could do the other way. Just take pi and multiply it by 10, 3.141. So 30. Well, let's do that just to make the math easy. Let's do it. Make the math easy. 31. This is 31. This is 31.4 meters in circumference. Okay. All right. Now this one down here is only 1 meter circumference. The dial where you're running it, and you start pushing on the thing, and you start going around here at 1 meter per second. This outside edge is at 31.4 meters per second. See how that works? For every time, for the multiple of difference in that. So that's a 1 meter circumference. The 31 meter circumference gets that much more. So this is how the idea for the light speed experiment works. So we take 299. You want to use your calculator? 299,792,483 divided by pi.
792.
equals,
Wait, 299,792,4830.
no, 483. Because we're not talking about 10 times light speed. We just want light speed. Times pi, 3.1415996.
3.1496.
141. Just use 3.141. That's close enough. It's close enough for this dot experiment.
Wow.
What's our diameter in meters?
103. Wouldn't that be? 9.
You've divided it by pi, right? I can't see that.
No, I did not divide it by pi. I must not have.
You multiplied.
I multiplied.
Yeah. Yeah, clear it. That's
Okay, let's try it
all
again.
right. 299,
What?
792
483.
divided by 3.141.
3.4.
141. What do we get?
95
95.
million. 916.
Yeah, that's 95 million.
95 million.
Yeah, 299 million divided by pi. 95 million, 444,916.5877074.
Yep.
That would be our diameter. Okay? So, this would be the diameter required. So if you were to go, wanted to go this 299 meters, okay, in 1 second. All right. Divide this by 2.
Divide this by 2?
Yeah, for a radius. Equals the radius of
47 million.
Yeah. $47 million. What is it? The small numbers?
722 458.293537.
Okay, that's our radius. All right. Now we're light speed, 1 revolution per second. Okay, would achieve light speed across that radius, right? That's what that says, because that's the circumference. See, like this. Here's our circle. Okay, C equals C. Okay, all right. From
That's better than
one end to the other.
A plus B
Or
equals C.
R equals this. The 40 equals this. Okay? So, in time equals 1 second. Okay?
Wow.
Okay. Now, let's do this. Let's take light speed, because it's velocity. Oh, yeah. So let's say we got a camera on the end of the 2 sticks like this. Here's the light speed experiment. All right, right here. You got a camera here and a camera here across this diameter. Okay, of 9544 916.58 blah blah. Okay, so now you got the thing built, so it's good and strong. Got this structure here, right? And it's good and strong. Right? This trussely thing going on, like the Eiffel Tower. And here you put a thruster to blow out this way, and here you put thrusters to blow out that way. You can put thrusters that blow out this way. Okay? Thrusters that blow out this way. Okay? So basically what you're doing is inciting spin on this stick thing. Okay? Now, this diameter, okay, to here equals radius. It'll spin on that center of mass at that radius of 477224448.9834. And now spin it up to 1 cycle per second, and you have light speed at the end of that. Okay. See how that works?
Yes.
Yeah. Now this would have to be our diameter in meters. 9544916.5877074. 0.587074. Okay, in kilometers, that's 95,000.
Thousand.
Yeah, you divide it by 1,000. Just move the decimal, 1, 2, 3, and it moves to where that comma is, and you got 95,444 meters. I mean kilometers.
Okay.
Kilometers. 95,000 kilometers. Now, how far is that? How far is it around the world in kilometers? The diameter of the planet. I mean, the circumference of the planet.
Not sure.
Not sure. Anyway, the point is that we could pick a spot. If we decided we wanted to do it, we'd pick a spot right above. We'd pick a solar conjunctive orbit, say above the planet, to start building it. Or maybe start it. Yeah, well, solar conjunctive we'd set it in orbit, and we'd get to work on it once a year as it comes by the Earth. And we'd take and set it in an orbit like this, where there's the sun here, right, and here's Earth, right, and we put it in orbit where the Earth is orbiting axis Y. We put it in orbit axis Z this way, okay, and give it a warble so it goes and it does this, basically right along with the Earth. So, and it would turn in its orbit right along with the Earth. And so every 365 days or so, there would be a window that you could do work in it. And then you just let it float through space while it's doing its thing. And ultimately, when it's done, well, see, you'd have to ultimately, I don't think you could, that's the problem. See, I've been trying to work out the physics of how to just even build the motherfucker. And it's so huge. 95 kilometers is a long way. Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing, is that, here, let's just do, what's the centrifugal force at that? 1 cycle per second in that radius. All right. Using 1 kilogram as a reference. Okay. 1 kg. Okay, the centrifugal force is calculated by taking mass times v squared over r. Okay, so we'd take 1 kilogram, which is 1, times our velocity, which is the speed of light squared. The speed of light squared is, what's the speed of light squared?
299,792.
That's not the speed of light squared. That's only 10 times light speed. It's not the speed of light raised to the speed of light. It's not 299,792,483 multiplied by 299,792,483. That's what squaring is. When you square it, you multiply it by itself.
Oh, okay.
9 squared is 81. 12 squared is 144. It was only in the last 10 years that we ever really got a handle on the multiplications tables. I just to let you know that. Anyway. No, what I'm saying is it's like the last 10 years I've been able to actually memorize much of it. The 9 one is really interesting. It's easy to remember. All you do is take and invert the numbers one to the other. 0 through 9, and you put 9 through 0, and 1 on top, and you got that column, the 9 times tables.
Yep.
That one was always easier. The ones were the easiest. Everybody learns the ones first. Yeah. But okay, so speed of light squared.
That's funny.
You're going to end up with 300 some odd billion something. Did you do it? What do you got?
I didn't.
Speed of light times speed of light. Just use, do you have a scientific function? Just use the squared thing. Wow, this pencil is wearing down quick. Pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, this one will be gone before the picture's over. I'll use the chocolate does in the heat.
Well, I meant to give them to you.
Almond Joy?
Yeah, and Hershey's.
Oh. Well, you know, I'm really not concerned with texture. You know what that means? Oh yeah, I'll eat it. Anyway, I don't care.
As you all are making those grass blades one by one, you're not interested in texture?
Oh, in terms of chocolate bars.
Okay.
Texture here is another story.
Yes.
Anyway, did you do
I did not.
Squared?
I'm watching you.
Okay.
Times.
Yeah. 2997992
5 995 849 660. That's not right. 5 billion. No, that's 5 million. You don't have any more of that color.
See what gets more difficult as you get further in perspective? For the blade of grass being the same height, all has to get shorter. You're talking about more and more little lines exponentially as it gets deeper into the. But here's the saving grace. See, we've got as we get further on. See, you know, we can.
Does this represent you all?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, where did it come from?
Well, it's out of my imagination, and it was just I just want
to,
kids playing in the
something
image.
Something had to have maybe triggered some type of.
Well, it's
memory.
No. It's about the song and the lyrics in the song, and I needed something that represents going back to kindergarten. You know, the high-pitched voice in there, Sabrina. Come on, you didn't get to hear it. Never got to play it. It starts her out here, and it goes, "Come on, let's go," in a high-pitched voice. I can play it for you in here. We can do it before you go. Let's do it, and I'll play it for you.
Yeah, and I only got about 10 minutes.
Or you can try it at home on your computer at home.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it down.
Anyway, it starts out. She says, "Come on, let's love gift to the world." Is the name of the track. Love gift to the world. And you could go, if you wanted to, you could go to anoldmasterjukes.com, and it should auto-play on a regular thing, and then you'll hear it. But if not, you go to the Reverb Nation link or the SoundCloud one.
Okay.
Or you can find it. It's out. I linked it in links in Twitter and Facebook, and I've also placed some links in YouTube.
Well, you should be able to get it. I don't know why I'm not able to on my phone, but
because you need an app or something. That's why. Anyway, see how technique? You go for a little bit, and then you turn the pencil, get another sharp edge. You hold the pencil at an extreme angle, and it sharpens it as you go.
How many hours is into that artwork right now?
I started it last night. I got about an hour, just an hour.
Wow.
Maybe an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Thank you. Here, let me grow a little grass over here. It's all going to be grown in before it's done. But yeah, it's just like, since I get to play God in the picture, and I can decide where grass is going to grow. Yeah, one moment or the other.
Are you visually going to see?
Oh yeah, it'll be grass all the way. It's a field of grass, right? But you see how I used so it's got the dirt effect. See, I used I undercoated it with dirt, with tan for dirt. And that way, wherever there's nothing, where there's no green, it'll show a little dirt. See?
And this is, what do you call it? Smudged.
Yeah, well, this was done with the side of the pencil, sharpening it more for more of these. But I'm running out of some of that I can do. You know what I mean? And it's going to have to start blending into visible blades of grass as it progresses into the. Cover the blood spots. The fly blood, yeah. I'm gonna cover the fly blood with heavy marks.
What is the name for the
Fly blood?
scientific name
For fly blood?
For fly.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
that you only got to look up because that's not in my field. That's not one of my
That's something different.
my current field of study at the moment.
Let's see. Diptera.
Huh?
Diptera.
Diptera. So that's the fly.
Scientific.
Then there's multiple species of Diptera. So it'd be Diptera. The common horsefly would be Diptera something. Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's get more education. Seeing as how every video I put out there, I leave it as the category as education because I try to put something educational in everything somewhere along the way. You know, even if it's an object lesson. You know.
Okay, the housefly, Musca domestica, is a fly of the suborder Clecorhapa.
Musa domestica?
But no, the suborder is Cyclorrhapah. I can't even pronounce it. It's believed to have evolved in the Cenozoic era, possibly in the Middle East, and has spread all over the world as a commensal of humans.
And they're, yeah. How about that?
I don't like them. Ew!
Well,
that is the housefly. The housefly that goes outside.
Yes, it is. Here.
Musca domestica. Yeah, that's weird. Ooh. Female lays batches of about 100 eggs on a decaying organic matter such as food, waste, feces, so on. Ew. These soon hatch into legless white larvae.
Anyway, we got off track. We were going to figure out what the centrifugal forces were on our little 1 kilogram object at the end of